It's a French name. It's very complicated. I've been called Gottelier.
My channel. I am Alex Alicia and I'm so excited by today's very special guest. I am joined by frontman and guitarist of new vintage rock and roll band The Karma Effect. It's Henry Gottelier.
You got it. Well done.
I did it. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm feeling a little bit cooped up, but I'm pretty sure everyone feels the same way at the moment. But I'm good.
Of course. Yeah, you're all good. For anybody that wondered why there was a pause there before the end of Henry's last name, Henry's just been filling me in about the fact that he even didn't know how to pronounce his last name for a while, so.
There you go.
That's hilarious. I just want to start by saying to you that happy belated birthday. I saw online it was your birthday recently. Yeah. So happy belated birthday.
We share the same like the guys in the band, barring our keyboard player Seb, we literally all have our birthdays in the same week. So it's like 4 of us, all the same.
That is so weird, literally. It's like kind of meant to be though, isn't it, if you've all got the same birthday?
Well, you know, the guitar player Robbie, he kind of joined when we kind of met him in Brighton and stuff like that. So it was just like the other guys I've known for a lot longer. And it's just purely fluke by chance that, he just so happens to have his birthday in the same week as the rest of us.
That's mental. That is so bizarre. Just for anybody that might not yet have heard of The Karma Effect, and if you haven't, what are you playing at? Go and check them out. If you haven't heard of the guys, then Henry, how would you describe your band, your sound, your vibe? What are you all about?
Well, I'd probably say it's a kind of modern take on a vintage sound. So, it's a very blues infused kind of rock and roll, 70s rock kind of sort of sound. But obviously, we want to have that modern twist in there as well. So you could say that maybe the kind of choruses and stuff, they're very catchy, modern sort of style. But, we've got those bluesy rock riffs and stuff like that. So that's what I'd describe it as anyway.
Yeah, definitely good time, feel good rock and roll. I heard that you guys formed your band during the global pandemic. How did this come about?
So it's like I said, I've known the majority of the guys for a long time. We were all doing other musical projects. I play with the guys in another form, like a kind of like working tribute show. We do like classic rock tribute shows. So we were all doing different things. I was writing for other projects, and then I got to the point where I was kind of like, it wasn't really working for me anymore. And I wrote down the name, The Karma Effect, and in my head, I'd kind of like envisaged this kind of different project. And I just I set to work and I started writing. I do the majority of the writing. So I wrote a bunch of songs and I kind of had it all sorted. And originally it was going to be a kind of solo project. And when we kind of started getting together between lockdowns and stuff like this, we started rehearsing in my parents' garden.
Oh, nice.
Because there's nowhere to go. Everything was shut. And slowly, having played with the guys before, I know how well they all work, with how well we all work together musically. It kind of just turned into this band, and I was like, whatever it is, I'm loving it. So we just we let it kind of go. And then Robbie came on board, and it became, it just became this kind of thing, and you know, it's super exciting, and you know, we all can't wait to just play together again.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, no, that's an amazing story. And when you said that you're going to do it solo project, is that after your band that you were in previously, which again we'll get talking about in a second, Saltlake? But were you just feeling like you wanted to kind of go solo at that point, or were you wanting to still be in a band and it weren't happening?
Yeah, well, you know, I've had conversations with kind of my girlfriend. I kind of felt like, for me, I felt like I'd worked so hard at what I was doing, and I almost felt like I owed it to that thing to hold on to it. But I just wasn't, you know, I wasn't very happy. I wasn't, even though I was doing writing and we were recording and stuff, the music wasn't speaking to me. It wasn't as kind of, I think overall it just got to the point where this thing that we're doing now was just becoming bigger and bigger in my head, and I was like, I've got to do it. I've got to do it. And I felt like I'd been putting it off for so long. So I started writing it, and then after then I just kind of realized that it was okay to kind of let go and just go and do it. And you know, we haven't closed the book on the other stuff, but you know, like this is where we're at. And you know, Liam, the bass player, was with me in the other band, and and we were like, this is where we want to be right now. And for me, it's the type of music that I just adore, and you know, guitar playing heaven and stuff like that. So I was like, let's just go with it.
Yeah, of course, because obviously for anybody that doesn't know that as well, like Saltlake were a three-piece alt metal kind of rock trio, weren't you, based in London? So completely different vibe musically to what the Karma Effect is. Was that a challenge for you as a singer to have to have a different kind of singing style at all, you know?
Well, actually, it's funny you say that, because I felt like, you know, my voice has always kind of been the same. I feel like there's a lot more production in the other style of music. It's a lot more kind of like, we worked a lot in the studios, lots of like samples and stuff like that. You know, we kind of wanted to be like I suppose like a heavy 30 Seconds to Mars type, like big production. And you know, for me, for a time, I was all about that. I loved it. But then, you know, my voice, I've got a very, as you can tell, I've got a very raspy kind of bluesy twinge to my voice. And I was kind of like, I don't know. I felt like we struggled in that scene because that's not where we were from. We were kind of trying to almost do something, as much as we loved it, and I'm very, very proud of it. You know, I felt like it was just not ever going to be kind of what we wanted it to be.
Yeah, so like for you and your like personal interests, as you said, they lie with blues, rock and the 70s kind of music. I also noticed, like, appearance wise, obviously things have to change based on the genre that you're in. So for you, I mean, I know you're wearing a leather jacket today, which is very rock and stuff, but your vibe in like pictures and music videos for the Karma Effect is very, very different to the stuff that you're doing with Saltlake. So is that weird for you at all?
Well, you know, I suppose, you know, as your taste and stuff develops, and as you get older, I found as well, as you get older, you can start to pull things off a bit more. So, you know, for me, like the big hats and, you know, I don't mind donning a pair of, you know, bell bottoms or whatever, looking like something from the Black Crowes. But, you know, for me, like, if you can, you know, like my biggest style icon is probably Lenny Kravitz, because he's like the coolest looking guy on the planet. So, you know, I feel like, things do change. We did kind of change, and you do have to sort of say to the guys, like I did sort of say when we started this, I was like, you know, it's got to be a certain thing. I love what like bands like Rival Sons and stuff like that, the suits, and you're just like, it looks really cool, and they've got a vibe, and that's kind of what it is. It's all, for me, it's all got to be, the music and the look has all got to be one big vibe. And then people start to dig it, because I don't know about you, but like when I see a band and their sound, obviously it's important that they sound great, but when you then look at them and you're like, oh, they look so cool, you're immediately like, I want to get into this.
So
definitely. That's kind of what I kind of want to try and do with this band as well.
I think you definitely are, for sure, because, and I think the thing is with like appearances, like you say, the great thing is, like, before people have actually heard your music, they can probably pinpoint where you're going to go with it based on the way that you look. And I kind of knew straight away from you guys, and this is obviously a positive, what I was going to get just from your profile pictures and stuff. So I think that's really cool. And yeah, so talking about the new music, which is why I have the pleasure of chatting to you today, your brand new single has been released. It's called Shine On, and it was released last Friday. So in just under a week, how have the responses been for that track?
The responses has been amazing. We recorded 3 songs between lockdowns in the studio. We were in and out. Obviously, we put out Testify, which we wanted the upbeat, like very Zeppelin vibe, kind of banger. And then, Shine On. We were kind of like, we wanted something that was just super groovy. You know, again, it's got a very and I'm not ashamed to say it's very Stonesy, Black Crowsy kind of vibe to it. And because we love that, we just love that vibe. And so far, everyone's kind of been loving it as well. We've had everyone showing us the song in their playlists, and you know, we've had a lot of hits and a lot of love on the video. So it's a very psychedelic, trippy video, which I put together. So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, honestly, because the chorus is so catchy, and I know that's what you set out to do. And when you just touched on the video, the video is really quirky. And I know I have seen online that it was your girlfriend that she filmed that, didn't she? And you put it together, you edited it all. So that must have kept you busy.
My girlfriend is a videographer, so
nice.
We're very lucky in the sense that her job is that she's a videographer, and she does a lot of content for lots of different people. So I kind of made a deal with her. I was like, she's really busy, and I was like, look, if you just film it, I'll work out how to edit it. So I've been brushing up on my editing skills, but I wanted to do something that was, you know, a bit kind of trippy, a bit colourful, eye-catching. You know, it was weird filming it because it's literally us standing on a green screen with the track playing over and over again. And we're very DIY in what we do. We always try and, you know, we always want to try and do it ourselves if we can. So I was there researching what I needed, green screens and stuff like that. But it all paid off in the end, and I'm really chuffed with how it came together.
Yeah, I mean, musically it's completely different, but it reminded me of the White Stripes video. You know, it's that kind of, it's that similar thing. I think it's I haven't seen that in a while.
Maybe a bit of influence from that as well. And also, actually, I really like to video. My main inspiration behind it was a video by Blackstone Cherry, which was "Please Come In," where they're like in a kind of like Fillmore style poster. And that's kind of what I was like, if you can kind of, how can I do a budget version of that? was kind of the way to kind of do it.
Yeah, just hit up Blackstone Cherry and see if you can borrow their stuff, innit? About the song, I want to chat to you a little bit now about lyrics, because you are the songwriter. And I was wondering, now this can be a no answer, but I was wondering if there was any kind of like political statements within your music, or kind of religious kind of influence or connotations, you know, with like Shine On and Testify. Is that the case?
I suppose the kind of vibe of the lyrics is very much, you get the vibe of it. It sounds a bit religious, and actually, I don't know if it's probably, I sometimes find there's a lot of irony. This is just my opinion, obviously. I sometimes find there's a lot of irony in things like that. So Testify is actually about the kind of irony of a lot that happens in religion. And again, you know, some people, whatever people want to believe in, that's totally cool. But sometimes, you know, I find, so that is, the lyrics are kind of, it's almost like a juxtapose, really, of it. So yeah, and that one kind of just, I don't really know where it came from. you just start writing, and then you get a theme, and then it kind of just sort of like happens. And then I found with Shine On in my head, because it's got a bit of a southern kind of twinge to it. It's very gospel. It's got a kind of gospel vibe to it. So the lyrics are kind of almost as if it's like a kind of gospel sort of like sermon or something like that. But it's I mean, we're not a religious or a political band, but I feel like because of the kind of rootsy, bluesy influence and stuff like that, maybe the kind of style of lyric kind of works really well together. And like I said, I mean, it's you know, they're not all like that. Some we got another song that we're releasing, and that's very different. But it's all just kind of like in the moment. I tend to write a lot in this room, and I'll pen some ideas down. I'll play an acoustic guitar, and you know, Shine On was the thing that phonetically came out of my mouth when I was trying to write the melody. And sometimes, you know, it just sticks. If you look at, there's a bunch of like videos on my phone of us that we record at rehearsals, singing and talk, and I'm singing and we're playing, and I'm just, you know, saying phonetics, but then every so often you get a line in there, and that might end up being the line that you kind of write the song around.
I wanted to ask you that because obviously people interpret songs very differently depending on person to person. But moving on, you've just mentioned you've got a song coming soon, and I know that you teased online a debut EP that could be coming this year. What's going on?
So we, like I said, last year, between through the summer when we were all kind of free, we made the most of it, and we went in and we picked, as a band, the kind of top 3 tracks that we wanted to record. And we decided that we weren't going to put out an EP off the bat. We just wanted to just release a bunch of singles for people to kind of get into the band, really. So we've released 2, and we've got one more coming, which is a really great track. Well, I think it's a great track. It's
you say so?
It's a kind of like it's got a very kind of almost Tom Petty style
love
to it. So it's still kind of, it sounds like the Karma Effect, but it's a bit more of a kind of big sing-along kind of chorus. So we got that one coming. We don't know when yet, but when we can kind of shoot video and do all that stuff, then we'll kind of start planning it. And then after that, really, we're now in talks with producer, a friend of ours who recorded the last stuff. And we just want to get in and get a whole kind of EP. We've got about 6 or 7 songs. We want to get 5 of them on an EP, and hopefully have it out by September, November next year or something. September, October, around autumn.
Oh, nice. I mean, obviously you can't plan anything really at this point, can you? Because of COVID and that. But
it's pretty mad. We're literally, you know, waiting on the government's every word at the moment to figure out what we can and can't do. So it is frustrating, and we were talking about it last night. You know, if we're still going to be here in God knows when, what we're going to do. But at the end of the day, there is very little you can do. So you just got to kind of go with it.
It seems like you guys are making the most out of it for sure. And I'm really excited to hear the new stuff because I've been loving the track so far. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. Right, bit of a random question, but I always ask everybody this one. Do you have a motto, a saying, or a quote that you like to live your life by?
That's do you know what? Off the top of my head, I don't think I do, but I'm trying to think of one.
Maybe something that the band try and stick to.
I think I wouldn't say it's a motto, but I'd say the one thing that I've come to kind of realise, and I was talking to the guys about, is I feel like everything at the moment's put a lot of things into perspective about, you know, and just kind of like, I feel like now probably living life to the fullest after this is kind of going to be my kind of motto. Not saying no to going to a gig on a Monday night, or you know, like things like, just because we've had going to be like a year and a half of nothing, and I just feel like just live it up, you know, enjoy it while you can, because you never know when it's not going to be here anymore.
I know, for sure. I think we're taking a lot of that stuff for granted. I know what you mean. I know where you're coming from. Like, you do done your midweek gigs, you think, oh, you know, bedtime or whatever. But yeah,
that's it. Like, you know, like for instance, a year ago or so, someone was like, do you want to go and see, and this is sacrilege, someone was like, do you want to go and see the Stones at Twickenham on a Monday night? And I was like, I think it was a Monday, and I was working, and I was like, I can't leave now, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there. And now you look back at things like that, and you're like, why didn't I just say like, yeah, I'll come, I'll find my way there and back. Or, it's things like that. So yeah, just enjoy it and live in the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. That's a great one, I think. Good ethos. Right, and finally, have you got a message that you'd like to send out to the Karma Effect fans, followers, anybody who's listening to your music? Have you got anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much to everyone for your support. The comments, everything, the sharing of our music has been pretty overwhelming for us. We didn't expect it, you know, at all. So thank you. And yeah, honestly, just stay tuned for, we've got a new single coming, so hopefully some point in the first quarter of the year, first half of the year. And then we're pretty much aiming to have new music, a whole kind of debut EP for people to consume sort of the latter half of this year. So there's going to be plenty to come, and we're hoping that maybe again later in the year we can get out and do some shows and play for some people, and that would be the biggest thing for all of us.
I bet. I know. Well, there we are. And so thank you so much for chatting to me. That is the end.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure meeting you and chatting to you. And I just want to say as well to everybody that go and check out Testify, that was released last year in November time, and make sure you go and check out Shine On as well, their brand new single, which is out now. And obviously, Henry, thank you so much for chatting to me, and best of luck with everything that you've got going on. Try not to get too bored in lockdown.
I'll try. I've got things I've got all my toys to keep me occupied, all my guitars and stuff. So there you go. I'll try and write some music.
Yeah, maybe you can join the Facebook live streams or something.
That's it. Yeah. Well, that you never know. That might be the kind of route that we end up going down if we can't play for people. So
yeah, sure.
We'll so keep an eye out on our social media and stuff like that.
But yeah, just last thing to say is thank you so much, and I will catch you next time. So bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.